Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Deputy Chief Troy Livingston, Livingston, with Wichita Police Department. Chief Ramsey is sorry he cannot be here this afternoon. He was away visiting family, and he is returning early to further manage last evening's officer-involved shooting. He asked me to express that his thoughts and prayers are with the family as well as with the officer. Last evening's officer-involved shooting is a tragic and senseless act. The irresponsible actions of a prankster put people and lives at risk. The incident is a nightmare for everyone involved, including the family and our police department. Due to the actions of a prankster, we have an innocent victim. If the false police call had not been made, we would not have been there. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family as well as with the officer. Before I read the rest of my statement and the release of this incident, we will play some audio of the calling party. We will give you dispatch traffic to the officers. And at the end of my prepared statement, we will share a few seconds of video. We will hand out copies of this information. I want to point out that we believe there's a compelling reason to release some of this video and some of the audio because it's in the public's best interest. The Wichita Police Department wants to maintain and continue to build trust with our community. However, we cannot release all the information simply because we have an ongoing criminal investigation into the person or persons responsible for making this false police call. If you'd like to turn your cameras that way, we will have some audio. It's put into a video format. When we get to the video later, I do want to warn you that some people might find it disturbing.
So real quick, is this audio disturbing at all for
No.
live stream purposes?
No.
Okay.
Lights. You should get set up.
What is the location of your emergency?
Dispatch 6582, stand by. Are you still on the line? Are you still on the line? Okay, I just had a person call down to the security desk at City Hall, and he said his mother had just hit his dad over the head with a handgun. Okay, I have his phone number, but for some reason, either he is hanging up or I can't transfer it. So I'm going to give you the phone number.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, I'll go ahead.
Okay.
Call him back.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Hello?
This is 911. What's going on? Hello?
Yeah.
This is 911. What's going on?
I recently got disconnected. I had told you guys everything that happened, but the argument with my mom and dad.
Okay. What's your address? Hello?
Yeah, it's 1033 West McCormick Street.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
They were arguing and I shot him in the head and he's not breathing anymore.
Okay, so what's going on right now? Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any weapons on you?
Yeah, I do.
What kind of weapons do you have?
A handgun.
What kind of handgun is it?
I don't know, it's my dad's.
What color is it?
It's black.
Where exactly are you at in the house?
By the closet.
Okay, what closet?
My mom's.
Where's that at in the house?
In her room. Which is where she's and my little brother.
Do you have a little brother?
Yeah. I was on the phone with you guys earlier, telling you guys about it. I got disconnected.
Okay. Well, we're going to try to get you some help. Where exactly in the house, like, is this a one-story or two-story house?
It's one story.
Is it towards the front of the house, the back of the house?
Well, like it's like towards the back, I guess. I'm just pointing the gun at them, making sure they stay in the closet. It's my mom and my little brother.
Okay, is there any way you can put the gun up?
No. Are you guys sending someone over here? Because then I'm definitely not going to put it away.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and stay on the phone with you, okay?
That's fine. Until they get here, or?
As long as you need me to, okay?
Yeah, I'm thinking about, because I already poured gasoline all over the house. I might just set it on fire.
Okay, well, we don't need to do that, okay?
In a little bit, I might.
Why would you do that?
Do you have my address correct?
Can you verify it for me again?
It's 1033 West McCormick Street. My zip code is 67213.
Okay. So which way does your house face? Like, does your front door face north, south, east, west?
No, it's just facing the street. My dad isn't breathing. Kind of giving me anxiety, making me like paranoid. Hello?
I'm still here. I'm still here, okay?
Yeah, me too.
Okay, are you white, black, Asian, Hispanic? Are you there?
Yeah.
Are you white, black, Asian, Hispanic?
It was an accident, so.
Okay, that's fine. Are you there? Talk to me. Hello? Are you there? Hello?
Shooting at 1033 West McCormick, 1033 West McCormick, 253, 250 Oxford, 6 operating on West.
64 10 North 5 Main Road. 250.
Okay, complaints indicating, I'm sorry, I read the call, it's not correct. The complaints advising he did shoot his dad in the head and he's not breathing. He's also indicating that his mom and brother are in the house and he has them at gunpoint.
Do you have any call history with that phone number?
I'm looking now, the only thing I've got in there previously was back in August on a stroke.
72 1023 on the shooting.
10-4 officers, 1033. You were 10-4, the suspect has got the gun and only his mom and dad, or his mom and brother at gunpoint, is that correct?
71 number standing off at the corner.
72 and 78, 10-4 street close.
253 coming in the area where you guys at back then. Walnut McCormick.
And Mel indicated to be your suspect, says he didn't mean to shoot him, that he was arguing with his mom and it got out of hand. They hung up on us, I no longer have contact. We're unable to call back.
Thank you. Give me a second for my eyes to adjust to the light. Okay, I'm going to kind of read a brief statement of how that unfolded last night once the officers arrived. Please keep in mind as I read through this, the dispatch traffic that you just heard. This is what the officers are confronted with and have to deal with, and this is the information in which they are operating. On Thursday, December 28th at approximately 6:18 p.m., officers responded to 1033 West McCormick regarding a shooting call with hostages. The officers arrived at approximately 6:20 and cordoned off the residence. Officers positioned themselves on the east and west side and across the street to the north. The officers were preparing to make contact with a suspect or suspects inside, and they were also preparing for a potential barricaded suspect with hostages. As the incident unfolded, a 28-year-old male opened the front screen door and stood in the doorway or just outside that doorway. Officers gave him several verbal commands to that male to put his hands up and walk towards them. The male complied for a very short time, but then moved his hands back down to his waist area. The officers continued to give him verbal commands to put his hands up, but he lowered his hands again. The male then turned towards the officers on the east side of the residence, lowered his hands to the waistband again, and then suddenly pulled them back up towards those officers to the east. The officer on the north side of the street, he feared that the male had just pulled a weapon from his waistband, retrieved a gun, and was in the process of pointing it at the officers to the east. Fearing for those officers' safety, the officer on the north side fired one round, striking the male. Officers then cleared the residence, believing there was a deceased person inside and potentially some hostages. After clearing the house, they located 4 individuals that reside there. Officers did not locate any deceased person, any injured person, or any hostages. During the investigation, we learned an unknown individual had placed this police false call. We believe this incident is a case of swatting, which is the act of deceiving emergency services into sending a police response to another person's address. The false calls include serious law enforcement emergencies such as bomb threats, murder, hostage taking, or other alleged serious incidents. We're continuing to follow up on the individual. Individuals believed that were responsible for placing this call, and we'll work with our federal partners. No officers were injured during the incident. The male was taken to a local hospital and pronounced dead at 7:03 p.m. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation has assisted with this case. Per departmental policy, one officer has been placed on administrative leave, which is normal protocol for an officer who has been involved in a deadly shooting incident. The officer is a 7.5-year veteran of the police department. I have a brief timeline to provide to you. Some of you heard of that. Some of you heard that information in the audio tape, but I'm going to provide a bit of a timeline for you. After that, I will show you a video. So at 6:18 p.m., the officer working at the city building, last night we believed it was a substation, but it did come into the city building, got a call from an unknown individual that stated that he had had a disturbance, that his father had been hit over the head with a loaded gun, and then that security officer called 911 to report that information. They got cut off somehow. At 6:18, the calling party stated that he shot his dad in the head and that he was not breathing. At 6:19, the calling party stated he's holding his mom and his brother at gunpoint in the closet. At 6:22, the calling party stated he didn't mean to kill his dad. He was arguing with his mom and things got out of hand. At 6:23, the calling party stated he wants to kill himself and light the house on fire. At 6:41, the calling party stated he had a black handgun on him. At 6:42, the calling party stated that he was by his mom's closet. At 6:43, he advised he had his mom and his brother in his mom's closet, and the suspect also advised that the closet he was in his mom's bedroom towards the back of the house. He also stated he was pointing the gun at his mom and his brother, and he was not going to put the gun away. At 6:44, the suspect advised he poured gasoline all over the house, and he was thinking about lighting it. At 6:43 is when the individual on the front porch was shot. So you can see how that evolved, and you can see what information the officers were having to work with. If you're ready, we will show you the video. I will tell you, some might find it disturbing. It's about 7 seconds. I'll give you time to get turned back around.
Well, maybe we can pause just a second to let live streams kick out. Okay. So we don't run it on TV.
Yeah, just let me know when you're ready.
I'm going to turn the lights off.
Everybody ready? Give me a thumbs ready.
probably enough time.
Okay. You tell me. Just to wrap up a few things, because I know that some media outlets have aired some interviews today. I will tell you that EMS was standing by. That's kind of a typical protocol of a hostage situation, so they were there on scene. But let's be pragmatic about it. They can't go in and treat somebody until the house is cleared and made safe. The individual was shot at 6:46, and he was to the hospital, pronounced dead by 7:03, which is about 17 minutes. So EMS was there quickly. I will tell you that this prank phone call, we don't see it as a joke. It's not a prank. It only heightened the awareness of the officers, and we think led to this deadly encounter. Having said that, I am here for a few questions.
We have more breaking news to get to. The LAPD has arrested a man suspected in the swatting incident that got a man killed by police in Wichita, Kansas.
Walk this way! Walk!
Eyewitness News has learned 25-year-old Tyler Barris was arrested this afternoon in South Los Angeles. Police believe Barris called 911 in Wichita, pretending to be Andrew Finch and saying that he had shot his dad and was holding his family hostage. The prank call led to a police response that ended with an officer shooting and killing Finch. Police say Finch wasn't armed, his family was safe inside, and he never called 911. Police are now looking into whether an argument over the online game Call of Duty prompted the hoax call. The officer involved has been placed on leave. And a suspect with the same name, Tyler Barris, was arrested 2 years ago for swatting our KABC studios in Glendale. Here's his booking photo. He was 22 at the time. You may remember we did our entire 4 p.m. newscast from our lawn while police searched the station. At the time, Barris was charged with 2 felony counts of false report of a bomb to an agency or business and 1 felony count of criminal threats. We'll continue to follow this story.